Hello, nice to meet you. I'll summarize the film The Godfather Part 1 and onwards for you. The film is set in 1945 and revolves around the lives of a mafia family in New York, originating from Sicily, Italy. The main character is Vito Corleone, the Don of the Corleone family, also known as the Corleone family. They engage in various criminal activities on behalf of their clients. Don is an honorific title commonly used in Europe, such as Italy, Spain, and other countries, to respect a man, while for women, the honorific title is Donna. During his daughter's wedding, Don Vito receives various requests from his clients, who happen to be invited to the wedding. However, Don Vito is still awaiting the arrival of his youngest son, Michael Corleone, who hasn't arrived yet. The beginning of the film briefly introduces all the members of the Corleone family, and there are many famous quotes from the film. One scene that occurs during the family photo session is when Don Vito refuses to be photographed because his family members are not complete without Michael Corleone, his youngest son. The words that come out of his mouth truly capture the audience's sympathy, as we wouldn't take a photo without Michael. Now we have a glimpse of Don Vito's character. Let's reintroduce the important characters of this family. His wife's name is Nella Corleone. Honestly, apart from being fascinated by The Godfather itself, I was amazed to see his innocent and joyful mother, who doesn't have to be involved in the dark business conducted by her husband, Vito Corleone. Although her role is not significant in this film, the formation of Don Vito's character as a respected and wise man actually comes from her. Those who have read the novel would know what kind of character Carmela is. Their eldest son is named Sonny. Unlike his silent and level-headed father, Sonny is arrogant, hot-tempered, and tends to solve problems with violence. Their second son is Fredo, a character who is more gentle and doesn't have much influence within the family. The third son, who is also the main character in the film, is Michael Corleone. Michael is a unique character because he chooses to never be interested in his father's business. He even prefers to become a Marine and participate in World War II. Don Vito deliberately keeps his third son out of the family business and hopes that Michael will get involved in politics. The only daughter of Vito and Carmela is Connie Corleone. In the beginning of the film, Connie is celebrating her lavish and bustling wedding with her partner, Carlo Rizzi, who is also Sonny's friend. Michael arrives at his sister's wedding with his girlfriend named Kay Adams and introduces her to his family. Shortly after, a famous singer from that era named Johnny Fontane appears. Everyone is intrigued by his presence as he is idolized by many, including Kay Adams. It turns out that Johnny Fontane is Don Vito's godson and has been greatly assisted by him in advancing his career. After singing in front of the bride and his fans, Johnny is welcomed by Don Vito, and he asks for Don Vito's help to get involved in a famous film project to further elevate his name in the entertainment industry. Previously, Johnny was rejected by the production house handling the film project. Vito Corleone orders Tom Hagen to go to Los Angeles and take care of Johnny's problem. Tom Hagen himself is also Don Vito's godson and has gained trust to become a consigliere. The consigliere is indeed an important position in the leadership structure of the family business. Their role is akin to an advisor to the leader and often acts as a representative in crucial meetings. It can be said that they are the right hand of the leader. Upon arriving in Los Angeles, Tom Hagen finally meets with the head of the production house, Jack Woltz. Tom asks for Johnny Fontane to be given a role in his film, but Jack refuses. He explains that Johnny's presence in the entertainment industry has already caused him harm. Tom Hagen is then berated severely during a dinner party and eventually thrown out. However, afterwards, Tom wakes up in his bed and finds a severed horse head drenched in blood. This kind of problem-solving is famously referred to as an offer that can't be refused. Ultimately, Johnny Fontane manages to secure his role in the film. Some time after that, nearing Christmas, a drug dealer named Sollozzo enters the story. Sollozzo offers a deal to Don Vito, which involves providing him protection by utilizing Don Vito's powerful political connections at that time. Sollozzo, a Turkish man who has a heroin factory in Sicily, has a criminal record in both Italy and America. He also has the support of other mafia families. However, Don Vito becomes suspicious and rejects the deal. He doesn't want to get involved in the drug business and is aware of the potential political repercussions he may face. Don Vito then sends Luca Brasi, an enforcer, to spy on Sollozzo. Luca Brasi was previously paid to kill Don Vito, but instead, Don Vito invited him to a party and bestowed him with a large gift, which made Luca Brasi respect and admire Don Vito even more. However, Luca Brasi was strangled to death while attending a banquet at a bar with Bruno Tattaglia and Sollozzo. After that, they kidnapped Tom Hagen. At the same time, Don Vito planned to go shopping at the fruit market. However, his private driver and bodyguard, Paul, didn't come to work due to illness, so Fredo escorted Don Vito to the fruit market. Upon arriving at the fruit market, Don Vito is attacked by a group of armed men. They shoot Don Vito multiple times. Fredo, who is not skilled in fighting, can only be shocked, surprised, and hysterical as he sees his father lying after receiving so many gunshots. Elsewhere, the next day, during noon, Michael is shocked after seeing a newspaper headline that suspects his father's death. Michael immediately calls to confirm the news, but there is still uncertainty. Meanwhile, Sonny receives a call from Sollozzo informing him that they have kidnapped Tom Hagen. They don't intend to kill Tom but want Sonny to consider Sollozzo's business proposal. Sonny is actually interested in Sollozzo's offer because he believes Don Vito is already dead. Tom is asked to persuade Sonny. After a while, Sollozzo receives news that Don Vito is actually still alive. This makes him stressed and finds it hard to believe how Don Vito could survive such a heavy attack. After the Corleone family meeting, Sonny receives a package containing a bulletproof vest with 2 fish inside. The fish symbolize the place where Luca Brasi was killed, a bar occupied by Luca Brasi, Bruno Tattaglia, and Sollozzo. The symbol of the 2 fish is clearly displayed on the glass wall of that place. Sonny realizes the meaning of this symbol, but there are still some people who are unaware of its significance. Meanwhile, Paul finally returns to work after being on sick leave. His behavior seems suspicious, and Sonny asks Clemenza to handle this issue because he believes Paul is involved in a conspiracy of betrayal and attempted murder against his father, Don Vito. Michael then meets with Kay Adams and asks her to stay away from him for now because he doesn't want Kay to be involved in his family's problems. After they part ways, Michael goes to visit his father at the hospital. There, he discovers something strange as there are no guards or staff around. Michael becomes suspicious that there is an attempt on Don Vito's life. He asks a nurse to help him move his father to another room and eventually finds a baker named Enzo, who was about to visit Vito. However, Michael tells him to wait outside because danger can come at any time. Michael took advantage of the darkness to deceive Sollozzo's henchmen and infiltrate the hospital. He disguised Enzo to look like an alert bodyguard with a weapon. Sollozzo's men eventually left after seeing Enzo and Michael standing in front of the hospital. Then, police officers led by McCluskey arrived. Michael accused McCluskey of being paid by Sollozzo, leading to a physical altercation where Michael punched McCluskey, leaving a scar on his face. Clemenza and Tom Hagen arrived and rescued Michael from the situation. This marked the beginning of Michael's transformation from a good person to a gangster. The next morning, Michael, Clemenza, and Tom received news that Sonny had killed Bruno Tattaglia as revenge for the incident at the hospital. Michael started planning to kill Sollozzo and McCluskey by accepting their invitation to meet and pretending to settle the dispute. Although this plan was highly risky and could damage the credibility of the Don Vito's family, Michael had a brilliant idea. He instructed Clemenza to hide weapons at the meeting location and orchestrated fake news about McCluskey's murder, who was actually a police officer paid by Sollozzo as his private guard. Michael met with Sollozzo and McCluskey at a prearranged restaurant. Michael came without a weapon. After a few moments of conversation, Michael asked for permission to go to the restroom. There, he took the pistol that had been stored by Clemenza, and Michael killed Sollozzo and McCluskey. The events following the murders of Sollozzo and McCluskey led to a war among Mafia bosses. The media covered the events in a documentary format, and even Don Vito himself became a media sensation. Sonny and Tom Hagen explained the situation to Don Vito, that Michael was in exile in Sicily and they were trying to bring him back. In Sicily, Italy, Michael met a woman who captured his heart named Apollonia. To win Apollonia's heart, Michael used strategies similar to his father's, offering things that were hard to refuse. Michael negotiated with Apollonia's father and eventually succeeded in marrying her. Meanwhile, Sonny visited his sister, Connie, who was pregnant. Sonny noticed Connie's bruised face and, of course, became angry, but Connie assured him not to harm her husband, Carlo, as she felt he was innocent. Sonny then encountered Carlo on the street and confronted him directly. Carlo was severely beaten in public, which left him humiliated. Sonny warned Carlo that if he ever hurt Connie again, Sonny wouldn't hesitate to kill him. However, a similar incident occurred again after a tired Connie received a call from a woman intending to cancel her appointment with Carlo. Connie, with her emotional nature similar to Sonny's, became angry and went into a rage, breaking household items. Carlo, in turn, became angry, insulted Connie, and hit her. After learning of the incident, Sonny immediately searched for Carlo. However, unfortunately, as he arrived at the toll booth, Sonny was attacked by a group of individuals who shot him with a machine gun. Sonny Corleone met a brutal death in that attack, marking the escalation of the conflict between the Mafia families. Tom Hagen, with a heavy heart, delivered the devastating news to Don Vito, which was incredibly shocking. However, Don Vito Corleone decided not to seek revenge for Sonny's death. He chose not to pursue an investigation or take any retaliatory actions. Instead, he decided to arrange a meeting with the leaders of the 5 Mafia families. Don Vito then met with Bonacera, a devout Baptist and the son of Carmela, Don Vito's wife. In the beginning of the film, Bonacera had come to Don Vito seeking justice for the crimes committed against his daughter by her boyfriend. Bonacera was willing to pay any price asked by Don Vito in return. However, at that time, Don Vito didn't ask for anything. Now, it was Don Vito's turn to call in the favor, and he asked Bonacera to assist him in preparing Sonny's body to be worthy of a proper burial. This scene revealed Don Vito's loving and compassionate nature as he witnessed the murder of his son while shedding tears. Meanwhile, Michael, who was in Sicily, received the tragic news. He was advised to relocate immediately. Michael ordered one of his personal bodyguards to prepare a car, and as he was getting ready to leave, his wife, Apollonia, was already inside the car, intending to drive it. Unfortunately, Apollonia was killed when the car exploded. It was revealed that one of Michael's bodyguards had betrayed him and escaped. This moment can be seen as the birth of a different Michael, as he experienced a series of profound losses. In the meeting between the Mafia family bosses, organized with the help of Don Barzini, Don Vito decided to change his previous stance of rejecting the drug business. Previous conflicts had arisen due to Sollozzo's offer regarding drug trafficking. The bosses agreed that the drug business could be conducted but with strict control. They all agreed that drugs should not be sold to children. Don Vito also managed to convince the Talia family not to seek revenge for the deaths of their respective children. Initially, Bruno Talia had been killed by Sonny, and later Sonny himself became a victim of endless revenge. Don Vito declared that revenge would not bring back their children's lives. Don Vito reaffirms his goal of achieving peace among all the Mafia families, particularly to ensure the safe return of his son, Michael, to America. Don Vito realizes that the mastermind behind Sonny's death is not the Talia family but Barzini. After returning to America, Michael marries Kay and has 2 children. With Don Vito's declining health and Fredo's lack of strength, Michael becomes the sole successor to his father in the family business. Michael reorganizes the management of the Corleone Mafia family, including choosing Carlo as his right-hand man, a position previously held by Tom Hagen. As an advisor, Michael no longer requires Tom Hagen and appoints his own father, Vito, as his advisor. Michael also decides to relocate Tom Hagen to Las Vegas and appoints Mo Green as the owner of the casino where Fredo and Johnny Fontaine work. Michael plans to forcefully take over Mo Green's casino and hotel. This is part of his plan to move the Corleone family to Nevada. During a heated debate, Mo Green inadvertently reveals his connection to Barzini and that Barzini can help him keep his hotel casino. Even more shocking, Michael witnesses his brother Fredo's loyalty to another family over their own during their final moments with their father, Don Vito. Don Vito advises Michael to be cautious of someone arranging a meeting with Barzini, warning that the person is a traitor. He asks Michael to remember it from 1955. Finally, Don Vito passes away, and many consider his death to be the most memorable and heart-wrenching scene, especially for the viewers, as they witness Don Vito Corleone's immense love for his family. He dies while playing with his grandchildren. During Don Vito Corleone's funeral, one of the Corleone family members intends to arrange a meeting with Barzini. It is surprising because no one suspects that the person is Tessio, a trusted capo regime or captain within the Corleone family. This meeting is scheduled to coincide with the baptism day of Connie's child, where Michael agrees to become the Godfather. As Michael stands at the altar as the Godfather, the hitmen begin their actions and kill all the Dons in New York City and New Jersey, who are enemies of the Corleone family. They also kill Mo Green, shooting him directly in the eye. Afterwards, Tessio is also executed by Tom Hagen. Meanwhile, Michael confronts Carlo and reveals his secret that Carlo was paid by Barzini to lure Sonny out and lead him into an ambush, using Connie, his sister, and forcing Connie to confess. Naturally, with an offer he can't refuse. Clemenza then kills Carlo in Connie's car. In a hysterical state, Connie confronts Michael and accuses him of being the one who killed Carlo. Connie also tells Kay that Michael ordered his men to commit all the tragic Don murders on the day of the baptism. Kay feels relieved when Michael denies the accusations. However, when the family members arrive, Kay overhears them calling Michael by the name Don Corleone. She witnesses with her own eyes the capo regime members kissing Michael's hand, now becoming the new Don Corleone. The doors of the room close, and the movie ends. Thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.